Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Motorhead Garage is presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
This is Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, and we're glad you came along for the ride. Now, of course, if you're an off-roader, you're going to love this segment because, as you know, you've got to bring a lot of gear with you, and it's real easy to run out of room in a hurry. So, Matt, at Blue Ridge Overland Gear, you have solutions for us that are going to save us space and give us space we didn't even dream of before. How do you do it?
I mean, the big thing is sort of attacking the unused space in the vehicle and the space that you don't necessarily even think about being a possibility. You know, like attics for a Jeep or Land Cruiser, stuff like that, using the back of the seat for storage, using the headrest for storage, using the visor for storage. Sections underneath the seat fit things really handily, so we make a bunch of solutions that kind of fit those little niche places within a vehicle.
I think it's important to say that you guys are the experts. You've been overlanding, you've been off-roading for a long, long time, so this is kind of evolved. I
mean, we kind of started out making seat panels and then be out with the wife and the kids, and we'd be in the woods and come back and be like, oh my gosh, my jackets are everywhere on the floor and the kids are stepping on them. I need a place for that, right? So then the attic kind of was born. So we started building attics for the vehicles we had. So when we get in and out, we could kind of stuff stuff up in there, keep it out of the way. It could be dry, wet, not getting stepped on. It just gave us a handy place to kind of store all that stuff. And then it was like kind of led to first aid stuff where it was like, I really want safety stuff within arm reach of the driver or arm reach of the passenger. And where do you put that? So like, let's say we kind of landed on a headrest where we can have kind of basic first aid stuff right there where we can grab it. If you're gonna go hiking, peel it off the seat, walk away with it, or if you need something out of there, you can get to it. Just using those kind of unused spaces is really what we've kind of done, and as we've evolved, we've just kind of added places and added ways to store stuff and added ways to organize things and stuff like that.
Let's talk about how the system works here. This is one of your seat back panels?
Yeah, so this clips at the base of the headrest. This strap wraps around the bottom of the seat, so that it actually goes into the crease of the seat where you don't even notice it when you're sitting in it. So the way that it works when you're sitting in it, this strap that comes around the front, you don't even feel it because it actually tucks into the seam there. And basically the way the panel works is we use the Molly Pals platform, which is basically what the military uses, right? The military's used this system for a long time to attach pouches. So we make a bunch of pouches for it. There's a bazillion pouches that fit this platform on the planet. And then you'll see Velcro, Molly, and then you'll see this daisy chain piece here. So you can run Velcro pouches on it. You can run, like I said, Molly compatible pouches, and then you can clip stuff through the daisy chain. So there's different pouches depending on if it's permanently gonna be mounted like a fire extinguisher is gonna live here most of the time, it's actually Molly to the seat. If it's a first aid kit, and I want to be able to peel it off, it's going to be Velcro, so I can take it on and off really quick. If it's something I'm going to use part of the time, but it's going to be here most of the time, I'll actually clip into the daisy chain here so we can unclip it. It's fairly secure to the back of the seat, but I can get to it and take it on and off easily. And then each piece has that with it, and it all runs the same. So the width of this set of daisy chains is the same as this. So if you have a pouch that's built for a tool bag, it also clips to your seat panel. It also clips to an air tools bag. And the same thing, like if you've got a first aid kit that's Velcroed to the headrest, it'll Velcro the outside of this, it'll Velcro the outside of this. Each piece becomes interchangeable. It sort of develops into an ecosystem where as your off-roading stuff kind of, evolves, the system evolves with you and you're not out a piece of gear, or you don't have to go buy a complete new piece of gear. You can go buy a single pouch to add to the system.
And you don't have to make a huge decision each time. Do I go with this item or that item? This all works in concert and it's ever changing.
Right, everything works together.
The thing I really like too is, during the week you can keep this on your seat back in your everyday vehicle, but if you need to switch vehicles, it's as simple as unclipping it and reclipping it, and away you go. And
that's part of what we started. Like, we used to trailer a Jeep a lot to the woods, right? So this would be in the tow vehicle, clipped to the back seat. The kids would have their stuff in it, and they'd be playing or doing whatever they had, and that's kind of the space they had to keep whatever was going to entertain them for the drive. And when we got done, we just unclip two things, clip it in the back of the Jeep, and then they kind of had all their regular gear that they were sort of used to having and doing stuff with, and it just was able to go vehicle to vehicle. And same thing, if you sell a vehicle, you move on, this moves with it. It's not just Jeep specific, or it's not just truck specific, Dodge truck specific, whatever it is. It gives you the ability to kind of move that stuff around vehicle to vehicle within the group you have, or as you get new stuff, it's modular and it just moves to the next vehicle.
And this is going to move along with vehicles for years and years because it's super durable as well. How do you guarantee the quality?
Warranty-wise, we warranty it against anything. Drag it down the road, we'll replace it. Everything's made in Bedford, Virginia. All US-made material, Pretty much everything on here is mil spec, at a minimum of mil spec material-wise. All the materials are made in the U.S. on everything you see on this table except the zipper pull.
BlueRidgeOverlandGear.com is the place to go to get a system that's going to work in your vehicle. It's going to work in every vehicle. So versatile, it can change and you can keep it forever. Check them out once again at BlueRidgeOverlandGear.com. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, I promise.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. BrothersTrucks.com, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck restoration. Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. NH Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system. And by Detail King, your one-stop shop for professional detailing supplies, equipment, and training.
If it's worth keeping, it is worth protecting. That's the motto they use at New Hampshire Oil, and they sponsor us here at Motorhead Garage. Now, the alternator is the hero of your car's charging and electrical system. A lot of folks talk about the battery, but that is not the case, Matt. Once you start adding accessories to your system, that's when it starts to take its toll on the alternator and the entire system. What are some of the things that can go wrong if you're not making enough power in your alternator?
Well, I mean, low voltage. I mean, it kills your performance of your fuel pumps. Fans move less air. You can have overheating problems, low engine RPM. All kinds of things can, even ignition electrical problems can occur. So maintaining a good, happy, constant voltage all the time is critical. And most people have that problem at low RPM.
And I see that with hot rods a lot.
Yep.
If you're out there cruising or just driving around, slowly like you do, then you start to get some problems.
Everything gets hot, your air conditioning's running, your cooling fans are running, voltage starts to drop. When that happens, your fans don't move as much air, your air conditioning can even get warmer. There's all kinds of things can happen.
So what are some of the solutions that MechMan has to offer?
We use late model technology in our alternators, and all we do is we come up with a housing or fitment for earlier applications, like this Corvette, for example. And it produces twice as much amperage as most of our competitors' alternators do at idle, specifically at low RPM engine speed. That's the primary difference. They also come with 2 rectifiers inside, so you have twice as many diodes to dissipate the heat, a lot more cooling, makes it more durable, just makes the alternator last longer, and also doesn't let it overheat as easily.
Heat is the enemy of most parts on a car. How does it affect an alternator?
Well, it basically reduces the cycle life of the alternator, and also the hotter the alternator gets, the lower the voltage is going to go. So by maintaining a lower operating temperature, you maintain a more healthy voltage at low RPM when it's hot.
So let's talk about alternators from MechMan. You mentioned you're making more than the competitors out there. What variety, what vehicles does MechMan cover?
We do everything from late model Suburbans and industrial trucks. We have a really good marine program for boats. We actually OEM for a lot of marine manufacturers. And we have them for all your popular Ford, Chevy, Dodge, street rod type applications as well.
What if I've done something special, maybe a one-off deal, got a crate motor or something like that. What can I do and how do I find out what my options are?
Well, we actually have a special program just for motor swaps. Popular Ford Coyote, LS engines, Dodge Hellcats, things like that, where we actually put a single ignition wire, a switched wire to go on that unit, where you don't have to have the factory ECU. If you're running Motec or Haltech or Holley, any aftermarket EFI, you can just hook up this one ignition switch wire to that alternator, and it'll turn on and off, regulate itself, no problem.
And as far as installation goes, now you installed one here on the 67 Corvette. Mm-hmm. What's it like compared to installing an OEM unit?
Oh, well, it depends on the application. Some vehicles are harder than others, but this alternator just fell right in place. It's actually an aftermarket accessory drive on here from street shops, and we have an alternator that it's the exact same fitment as the OEM GM alternator that they use, just makes a lot more output at idle.
And to begin the process, of course, before you do it, you want to make sure you take a picture of the serpentine belt and make sure you know where that thing's going to go before you do it. And I'm sure you guys say that in your instructions, they're very detailed. What are the next steps?
Well, you want to make sure that your wires are properly sized for the amperage of the alternator. We make alternators up to 400 amps. In this case, it's a 170 amp alternator. But you want to make sure that your cables are the right size for the amount of amperage that you're pushing through there. Our instructions have that information in there, so it's real easy.
And it's not just alternators for hot rods. You mentioned boats and that sort of thing. What about special applications? You know, our friends with big booming stereos, and they're entering competitions and running all kinds of power to the stereo.
We even have dual alternator kits available for late model GM trucks, so you can actually run two 400 amp alternators if you have a massive stereo system in there. So we try and accommodate everyone.
Now, you know, of course, the technology keeps evolving, but the company MechMan's been around since the 70s. How do you manage to stay relevant?
Well, we keep an eye on OEM technology. New vehicles are coming out with better alternators all the time. We take that technology, whatever the best technology is that's available, and we apply it to other applications where it may not be available yet.
You've mentioned with hot rods here, folks getting crate motors, Coyotes, and LS engines and that sort of thing. What if I haven't upgraded that and I'm still running my original engine from back when I bought the vehicle?
It's no problem at all. We have fitments for that as well. I got a 67 Cadillac I like to drive every day, and I put one of those on there, bolted right in, no big deal.
If you have a classic car like this Corvette, you want to keep it running well and you want to keep it running for a long time, you can do that with an alternator from MechMan. Go to mechman.com. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. So, come right back.
Dragonfire Tools, quality, affordable storage. Proud sponsor of our DragonfireTools.com studio.
Here on Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, we always show you products that make your vehicle cooler, make your life more fun. Well, here's one that's actually going to change a lot of lives, Dana. How has the E-Trike made it easier for a lot of folks to get around?
We have such great customers, and they're anywhere from 80 years young and down, actually older. But this bike is geared for a senior community, but what we found is it's geared for anyone who might have any sort of stability issues or just balance issues. As you can easily see, it's very sturdy because of the trike construction. It's got those 4-inch fat tires. So it's not only for someone who wants to just get out and cruise, you can also have a lot of fun in this.
Well, it's electric and it really has quite a boost to it. How can you adjust the power settings?
Well, whenever you get on, you can either decide that I don't want to worry with the gears, or you can just, and if you do that, you're just going to push this. You're going to leave it like in level 1, and you can just use throttle the whole time if you want to, or you can pedal to get a good workout. And then if you want to do maximum workout, you can use a combination of both between the gears and the pedal assist.
So this is going to help you get around, you know, a lot of folks maybe on the beach or down in the villages. That's the perfect kind of place for something like this. How far can I go on it, and how do I get home?
Well, it's 31 miles range for your battery, and that is if you are going complete throttle. You're not pedal assisting, you're not doing anything like that. Now, if you want to prolong the battery, then you can use your gears, and learning to use an electric trike, you'll learn those tricks. A lot of people carry their chargers with them. It's a simple little 110 plug. Stop and have coffee, charge your battery, come back home.
Sounds like the perfect plan. And what kind of speeds are we talking here? This isn't like a high-performance bike.
So it's rated to top out at 14.5 miles per hour because this isn't really geared for speed. Our customers do go faster than that, but we rate it for that so that it's good for all national parks, things like that. But what this really is designed to do is to go up those hills. We have people in Colorado, everywhere else. Steep inclines are an issue, and this has got the power to do it. So you can pretty much take it anywhere. We literally have a customer who has a store manager who has agreed to let him bring this into the grocery store, and he does his shopping with it.
So instead of one of the mobility scooters you can borrow, you just take this on in.
It's way cooler, right?
It does say Anywhere Trike on it, so you can go from the trail into the grocery store. What are some of the features that allow you to take this onto a trail and it's stable for you?
Well, first of all, these tires, whenever you've got a 4-inch fat tire like this, they take various amounts of pressure. So whether you're going to be in the snow, in the sand, on rocks, cobblestone, trails like you're talking about, you can learn how to let out the pressure or add the pressure for whatever you need.
It's got a 2-year warranty, and this thing is going to last you a long, long time. It'll take you anywhere, just like the name says. It's called the Anywhere Trike. You can find it at anywherebikes.com. Joe, we have seen here at New Hampshire Oil how you start with a new vehicle and protect it from rust when it's right out of the wrapper. And we've also seen how you take an older vehicle that may have some rust on it already and how you eliminate that rust, and also how you prevent it from being rusted in the future. But what if you have some scaling and a little more rust on the vehicle? How do you get more aggressive with it?
All right, for the customer who says, hey, I wish I had started this from day one. I didn't. We've gone several years now. I'm ready to begin an oil-based rust-proofing maintenance program, but I want to be aggressive. So what we'll do is take the vehicle in. First, you want to inspect it. Have your mechanic inspect it. If it's structurally sound, then bring it in. We'll descale the rust. We'll bring it down to a surface rust, okay? We'll hit it with 2 coats of our rust converter, which will neutralize it, turn it black, and then we will spray it with oil. You come back every year after that, as you would our regular oil maintenance program. And it is a way to kind of kill most of the rust before you begin the oil-based rust-proofing maintenance plan. It is our most aggressive approach.
How much R&D has gone into this product?
Boy, we've been doing it for 10 years, and we do close to 3,000 vehicles a year. Out of those 3,000, I would say at least 20% of them are restoration. So we've had our hands in this for quite a while, and we've really refined the product. We also developed our own rust converter, so it's made to work in conjunction with our oil.
How important is it for you to listen to feedback from your customers when they come back?
That is as critical as listening to the viscometer in my lab. This is the real life lab for us right here. Real world laboratory testing. We have actually many customers that come in here. We ask them to allow us to monitor their vehicles, and we try different things out. So it's been very useful for us.
Well, the restoration is proof that an ounce of prevention is worth about 4,000 pounds of cure.
Or $55,000.
There you go. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings right after this.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Tribotex, make your engine last longer. Billy Bars, we're truck people. OptiCoat, for ultimate protection and reflection. And by Dragonfire Tools, industrial workbenches with integrated tool storage.
When you go to dragonfiretools.com, you're going to find all kinds of different workbench models to suit your needs and your space. Lou, here's one of your 7-foot models. Walk us through this one.
So this is our 7-foot Midnight Pro Series 12-drawer workbench. And as you can see, we have an open door cabinet on either end with a fully adjustable shelf that you can make whatever height you want.
And how much weight is that shelf going to hold?
It'll hold up to 150 pounds on that shelf. As far as construction goes, we also have a 14-gauge 304 stainless steel top on here, 16-gauge galvanized steel drawer bodies, 14-gauge powder-coated drawer fronts, and a fully 14-gauge tubular steel welded frame.
How important was quality when you set out to design your workbenches?
Well, we knew that not only homeowners, but professionals were going to be using these. So being able to use these on a day in and day out basis, that's how they were designed with that in mind.
What are some of the things the pros love about Dragonfire Tools workbenches?
Well, for one, the affordability. Number two, as you mentioned, the quality. This is something that's going to stand the test of time, whether you're a professional in a shop or a dealership or an auto body shop, or whether you're a homeowner.
And a feature that the pros like, I know as well, is the locking features. And folks at home too, you've got your tools out in your garage. Someone can get in there and take them. So talk about the locks and how tough they are.
The locks on this workbench, you can lock each individual bay. So a lot of toolboxes out there, you have one lock, which means the entire thing's locked. So a lot of professionals, they want to be able to keep their specialty tools locked up while still having access to their regular daily tools. And so we've allowed for that by having individual locks for each bay and each cabinet.
I talked about variety of workbenches you have on the website. What if I can't decide?
All you need to do is give us a call and we'll be able to work with you based upon the application that you're going to be using the workbench in. Whether you're a diesel mechanic or an auto body detailer, we're going to be able to fit based upon the type of tooling that you're going to be putting in the workbench.
Well, if you're a hobbyist or you're a pro, DragonfireTools.com has the workbench that's going to suit your needs. Find them at DragonfireTools.com, and there is a discount code for Motorhead Garage viewers. Type in Motorhead to get free shipping and a discount. All right, look what I have here. This stuff's as good as gold. The price of gasoline, as you know, keeps going up and up and up, and fuel efficiency, Pasha, is more important than ever. How can Tribotex help me in the fuel efficiency department?
With one simple application, you can save few percent over 40,000 miles and more. But in some other applications, like when your engine are mostly idle, you can save in tens of the percents. Even 20% we've seen at max at low loaded generations like a genset. You know, when you have a 10 kilowatt generator lighting up few LED lights, most of it is running just overcoming its own friction. You eliminate friction, you eliminate wasteful losses of fuel.
I see police departments, a lot of cars, they're idling a lot, emergency vehicles and that sort of thing.
Or just people sitting in traffic.
Makes a lot of sense on your daily commute. You can save a lot of gas that way. Heat also becomes the enemy of every engine. How does Tribotex dissipate heat?
Yeah, when you tow it, or again, transmission generate heat mostly from friction. Again, less friction, more longevity in transmission, and more energy to tow the cargo.
Tribotex is the real deal. You can check out all the technology at tribotex.com. You get some for yourself as well. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Let's say we do it again next week, same time, same sandbox. And if you have a product you want to see featured on the show, email Jeff at masterstv.com. We'll get you here in our Masters Entertainment Group studios. From our entire crew here at the studio, so long. We'll see you next time.